Nobody. Hey, hello, hello. How y'all doing? Blessings, blessings, blessings to everybody. Blessings. How y'all doing? We're gonna wait and see if some more people come in. All right. I don't think my glasses is gonna stay on. Okay. How's everybody doing? I don't think my glasses. I don't know why my glasses ain't gonna stay on. Oh well, I'll just put them right here for now. I only came on for a few minutes because I gotta go. I was gonna try and come on earlier, but I got sleepy. You know how sometimes you get up, you have a good sleep, and then you get sleepy after you wash up and stuff. You get sleepy again. So I fell asleep in the recliner chair, and I woke up. It was 10:48. I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta go. I'm good. How you doing? Hey, Alicia. How you doing, sweetie? Hi, JD. Was about to go in the gym. I know. I should have took my lazy butt to the gym. No, I rebuke that. I ain't lazy. I should have took my butt to the gym, but I don't know. I slept so good last night, and I got up and I was praying and talking to Daddy. Then, washed up and stuff like that, and sat in the chair to look at look at something on the phone. Then I was watching Perry Stone. Because I was watching, what was it, TBN or Daystar. He came on. He was preaching something that sounded very interesting. So I started listening to him. Next thing you know, I was like, and it was like 10:48. I was like, oh man, I better get out. I'm supposed to be leaving here. Oh, good. I'm good. Now, this is what I came to tell y'all. I was talking to God, and then he gave me such a great revelation. Y'all know how Genesis, the book of Genesis, started out, right? With the giants and stuff, and the fallen ones sleeping with the maidens, making giant babies. And it was already, the Eloys were already there. It was already giants in the land, right? And in the book of Matthew, it says, when the Son of God comes, it will be like in the days of Noah when the Son of God come. And so this revelation came to me. I was like, Daddy, the same way it began is the same way it's going to end. But the only difference is, in Noah's day, there was no Messiah. There was no bloodshed, right? So God had to wipe out everybody except for 8 people. Noah, his wife, his 3 sons and 3 daughters. And it could have been more than that. We don't know, right? So in our day, though, it's going to be like that in the days of Noah. But we have the Messiah. We have his blood. And that's what's going to save a remnant of people. See, in the beginning of Genesis, we're the second Genesis generation, right? So the first Genesis generation, they didn't have no savior, they didn't have no Messiah, they didn't have no blood. And so God was grieved with his creation, and he had to destroy everybody because it was so much mixture. It was like half dog, half human, half cat, half human, giants in the land. 3 generations of giants, because the Eloys were still there, right? And then the Nephilims had children, right? And by them spreading their seed in the women, which was the true women of the Lord that he created, they defiled them. So like everything was just defiled, just nasty, just not a God. It was not in the image of God anymore. So he had to make an ultimate decision that probably broke his heart, to destroy his entire creation. Millions of people back then, except for 8, right? He destroyed all the animals except for 33,000 or something, I believe it was. He didn't even, there's certain animals that was created in that time that's not in our time, that he didn't even let on the ship. Because when I was in Liberty University for like almost 2 months, and I took up biblical Bible study, and I took up psychology, and then I graduated from the Ames Bible College online. So I learned a lot about the Bible, guys. So there were animals that God didn't even allow on the boat. Now we have all kinds of snakes now, but it was even more back then. And if you notice, there wasn't any snakes that we can see that got on that ship. So where did the snakes come from? So obviously Daddy somehow or another rerouted these snakes down here. Because if you read thoroughly like I did, it doesn't say anything about snakes. It tells you about the different animals that went on there, and it was two of them, but it doesn't say anything about snakes, serpents, cobras, none of that, right? So where did the snakes come from again? All right, so obviously daddy, rerouted these snakes and brought them back however he brought them back, but they weren't on the shit with Noah. If they were not accounted for, right? So it was many other animals that didn't even reach Noah's ship, right? So that means even the animals, a lot of the animals were turned over and defiled. So he had to destroy all of his creation, like the entire planet, right? The entire planet. So in the Bible, in Matthew's, it says, in the coming of the Son of Man or the Son of God, so shall it be like it was in the days of Noah. So you have to think about it. Okay, in the day of Noah, what they had like 3 types of different giants. Do we have giants right now? No. But we will. I'm sure they're going to do it because I had visions. I saw a vision and it was an island and it was full of giants. Full of giants. And then I had another vision a couple of years ago. There was an island. It was full of dinosaurs. I'm like, what? And then daddy took me back to the movie Jurassic Park because they made 3 of them, right? Remember in the movie Jurassic Park, they was on an island and people would what was it, to pay to go on the island to hold on. Okay, I got 5 minutes, guys. I gotta go. Remember in the movie Jurassic Park 1, 2, and 3? I think they made a 4th one too. I'm not sure. And they was on an island, and people could go there and see these dinosaurs. But something happened in the first movie, and these dinosaurs got loose, and they started acting crazy, killing people. Right? Did you notice in those movies the dinosaurs was on an island? What? And I saw a vision back in 2018 with dinosaurs, T-Rex, and all of that. I didn't even know what a T-Rex was, but when I saw that in the vision, I was like, that's a T-Rex. I seen these things, right? So they somewhere. I don't know if it was spiritual, if they in the island in the spiritual realm, or if they in the island here on this earth. And same thing with the giants, but it exists. It's either existing in the spiritual realm or it's existing on this earth, because God did tell me. So eventually, these things are going to surface, right? And then in the days of Genesis, there was all types of mixture. Aren't we having all types of mixture? Different races are mixing, different tribes are mixing. Do you know there's so many other tribes that are of the black people and the brown people, that some of them tribes you're not even supposed to mix with? Just because you're the same color don't mean you're supposed to mix, right? So it's all kinds. I'm trying to get y'all somewhere. It's all types of mixture here. But see, you got to think about this. Our Genesis time is going to be different from the first Genesis. Although there may be giants in the land and there may be dinosaurs one day in the land, right? But you also got to understand our mixture is different from their mixture. So see, the tribes are mixing, the races are mixing. And what has happened? We have a third race that God did not create. And what is that third race? The mixed race. People who are mixed. Every time you turn around, white person, Spanish, well, more so white people than anything, is mixing with blacks, and blacks are mixing with them more than anything, but they're also mixing with Spanish, Asian. So what did it create? It created a third race. Did God create that race? No, God created white, black and white. Black first, white first, and all the other races came from that, right? So this third race that we have now, which is a mixed race, is what man created, not God, right? Then they also created a third gender. What is the third gender? Transgender. Transgender. That's the third gender, because we have female and we have male. Now we have transgender. Then they got the other one. I forget what they call that. Binary, where you don't you say you're binary because you don't know if you want to be a boy one day or a girl one day. Okay, so you say you're binary. So that's 2 extra genders that our God did not create. Man created that. So you got to understand, the same things that happened in Noah's day, it's not going to happen in our days. The dinosaurs and the giants, I believe, will happen because I saw that. But the different type of mixtures, it's not like giants are going to be snatching women and making babies again. It's a different type of mixture that we're having in today's world. And this is what God gave me a revelation. So we got gender, transgender, and we got non-binary. That's two more genders that God did not create. And then we have the third race, which is the mixed people, which God did not create. So we're already living in the days of Genesis, guys. You could, if you're rich enough, you could go to the lab and they can make you a baby. They can grow a baby 9 months in a made up womb. I read about it, right? You can go and change your eye colors permanently if you want to. You can decide what kind of baby you want. If you want your baby to be a genius, you could change the baby's hair color, and everything before the baby is born. So we're already living in the days of Genesis. So stop looking for it, because you already in it. It's just as different, because we are a different Genesis than the Genesis in the first Bible. There is so much mixture and so much going on in the world, so much, bad stuff, and in Genesis day, they ate up everything, right? Food shortages everywhere, animal shortages. Look at all the animals they had on that port for 2 or 3 months when that ship was stuck there. Them cows and all them animals, they couldn't feed them or nothing, and they died, right? Look at all the farms shutting down, right? If our farm system shuts down, which is our agriculture system, we ain't gonna have nothing but vegetables to eat and fruit. And even that we might not have to eat if the farm stuff keeps shutting down, right? So we're going through this stuff just like in Genesis, but it's different. It's a different kind of Genesis. There were tyrants in the land back then. We know who the tyrants are in our land. We just not gonna say, right? And there's tyrant kings all over the planet. All kinds of tyrant presidents and diplomats. We're going through exactly what they went through in Genesis, but ours is different. Why? Because we're more advanced. We're an advanced civilization. We're an advanced Generation X, and our children and their children are advanced Generation Z, which is the last generation. So, of course, our Genesis is not going to look exactly like the first Genesis, because they were advanced too, and they were more advanced than us. But see, they didn't have, like, their technology was totally different. Like, they had flying saucers, flying cars, and everything. But ours is different, and we do have flying cars. We've seen it. Just one person so far. But eventually, like the cartoon, The Jetsons, you're going to see people flying in the sky. Just like in the movie Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger. People had to live on the rooftop and live in high buildings and never come out or come out and fly in their cars because it was so bad and ruthless on the ground of the earth. We're going to see those days. You got to pay attention to those Odyssey movies, because those movies are telling you the truth. They had made a couple of movies about the fallen angels and stuff. Fallen people and Lucifer and stuff. Pay attention to the movies. They on YouTube. That stuff is going to come to pass, because the devil has to show you everything before he does it. They even have movies out about the pandemic that we still going through. It's plenty of movies out there, and they even called it the C word. They even called it the C. There's this rapper in 2013. He rapped about it and said it was coming in 2020. Okay, so the devil has to tell you everything before he does it, right? Before he does it. Okay, before he does it. So we already living in the Genesis. It's just not totally like the Genesis that our ancestors experienced, but we're living in it, and we have some of the traits of it. And I believe those giants, and I believe that those the dinosaurs are going to reign back, because they made movies about giants. They made movies about the dinosaurs. They found all these giant bones. Do you know the bones still have bone marrow, and you could extract DNA from bone marrow and recreate and clone? Okay, so I know them giants is coming back, because I've seen it, and they done found all these bones. You know what I'm saying? So guys, we already living in Genesis. We're already in it. And the same way it began, it's the same way it's going to end. But the only difference is we have the Messiah, and we have his blood, and way more than 8 people, millions of people will be saved, right? Way more than 8 millions of people will be saved, because we have the Messiah. And this time the enemy will be defeated. See, Satan wasn't really defeated in Genesis days. Actually, God had to take that defeat, because he had to destroy his generation. To destroy a generation of nations of people, millions of people, that was a defeat to God. right? But God found a way to be the winner again, to resurrect by our Messiah, which was 14 generations, later after Adam and Eve. So God found a way, and he knew what Lucifer was going to do. He knew Lucifer was going to jack it up again the second time. He already knew it. But he had an ace, which is our Messiah, right? So this time millions of people are going to get saved, and millions of people are going to experience God right on Mount Zion, because it says in the Bible we're going to be going up there with him, or living up there with him, and all nations got to visit. If they don't, their nation will be cursed. So see, we're going to experience God before it's all said and done. We're going to be experiencing God with God while chaos is still going on in the world. Ain't that something? So that's the only difference. And then the Messiah coming back, he going to do the Armageddon war. He going to jack Lucifer and them up. See, that's the difference. Lucifer, he will be defeated this time. He will not defeat God's generation and have God take away his generation. He will not have God kill off his people this time. Although many will be killed off, but it will be in no comparison to what it was in Genesis days. It will be triple of what was taken. Let's say 5 million was taken. It will be billions or millions of people that will survive this time because of the blood and because of our Messiah. And because Daddy is going to be on Mount Zion, and we're going to get to deal with him live. Live, you know what I'm saying? Then we got the 2 prophets that's coming, right? It says the 2 prophets are going to be in Israel. It ain't the country Israel. It is the people of Israel. You got to catch what the Bible's saying. They will stand in Israel. They will stand among Israel, and they will be preaching, and then the enemy will kill them, and they will be picked up and rised up again in 3 days. Israel is not the nation. Israel, the land, is not what God's talking about. He's talking about his true Israel. These 2 prophets will raise up from his true Israel, his true tribes of people, and they will be amongst the midst of his true Israelites. And this is why the enemy will kill them, because they will be walking the earth, letting you know who you really are, waking you up, bringing you to God. And the enemy ain't going to like it, because they're going to take a lot of people from him. So he's going to kill him. He think he's going to keep him dead, but Daddy going to raise him up in 3 days. And when he raises him up, he going to raise up way more with him. So you got to catch what the Bible says. All right, so I just came to tell y'all that. Give y'all a little preaching today. So y'all have a great day. See you soon. Join my event on Thursday. You don't want to miss it. Love you. Shalom.